104.5 Vibes Radio, Sufferers Heights, Dwayne Stevenson. Buda yoningo meme nipeleka fast and it sounds amazing right here on the morning vibes with the local energy provider Otada the Beast. Na jana mazeli nilikwambia guys, today I'm playing for you some really amazing rare reggae music. Kuna track inaitwa How Things Are Go by Bamboo Station. This one is a classic. Nikusho itakubamba sana. Now get this, unaweza stream conversation on www.vibesradio.co.ke. We are live also on channel 172, that is KTN Burudani TV, up before Star Times. Pia tuko live Facebook and on YouTube at Vibes Radio KE. And of course pia kama wewe ni guys, you know, you're old school, you're still on the frequency. Kumbuka 104.5 here in Nairobi, Mombasa 98.7, Nyeri 98.8, Meru 107.1. We're Africa's #1 audio visual reggae and dancehall station. Nobody can stop reggae. All right, right now, so excited kwa sababu we're going to have an important conversation. We're joined with the one and only Mutheu Kasanga. She's the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Chancellor, Infrastructure, Lukenya University, and the one and only George Wasonga, Chairman of the local organizing committee, Lukenya University, right? Niko sawa? Yes, sawas. Today we're talking about 10 million trees marathon. Maybe George unaweza songea microphone fiti. You can actually just pull it closer ndo tukupate fiti. Guys, karibuni sana Vibes Radio.
Asante.
Ladies first. How you doing?
I'm good.
Nimecheki umetoka kwa sister station Vibes, Spice FM.
Spice FM.
It was a good conversation pale.
It was a good conversation. Let me just start because we are talking about youth here. I want to just shout out to KU. Tuko na nyinyi. Lukenya University tunaombea wao mafamilia watoto wao wamewaacha. Na tunaombea wale wameumia wapone haraka. Yeah, this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy of our Kenyan roads. Mombasa Road na malori guys, mimi sijui.
Umechiki hata kwa the front page of the dailies on the Standard na Nation wamesema too little too late, new laws to tame accidents. What do you think is going on, baby? Before we get into
let me get into something beautiful that is happening. On Mombasa Road I have seen and I've just, you know, ile tu na find out unasoma kwa magazeti, they are building truck rest stops. And the law that needs to come in place is that you cannot drive for so many hours without stopping. Now before walikuwa tu wanasimama kwa matown, unakuta town zimekuwa congested, even sometimes causing traffic problems. Zinalala hapo kando and they don't get good facilities. So these truck stops will have, you know, shops, nini, showers, yani from what I've heard. And
go freshen up.
Nimeona moja hapo Sultan Hamud, they are looking beautiful.
Oh, zinaka fiti
and they'll be able to accommodate trucks nyingi.
So you think the problem here is fatigue my drivers?
My drivers. Ukiendesha hapa sisi watu tunaishi Mombasa Road. Aki kila asubuhi utakuta tu lori imejiangusha yenyewe. And you could see this accident yenyewe. You know, the problem with this reaction, if you ask me, sometimes they target the wrong person.
Oh, you think this is just reactionary?
This is a knee-jerk.
It's knee-jerk reaction.
But it's not targeting the real problem. On Mombasa Road, shida yetu ni malori. These guys are driving sometimes even for 15, 20 hours non-stop.
George, what do you have to say?
Mimi, what I can say is that Ngori happened nini. You see, in this time and age, any country that wants to bring down mambo ya accidents must come up with what you call dual carriage roads, whereby kama gari ni kuteremka kama kupanda na panda. Unanielewa? Sasa our truck drivers, they drive long, unakatu kwa road so wanachoka, unajua, na kama alivyosema mwenzangu ni kwamba there are no rest areas where you can stop, weka gari kando kabisa, lala. You know, along Mombasa Road unapata gari, you know, sometimes najiuliza kwani what was the driver thinking, what just happened? Unapata si mnateremka chini, kalori kameangalia juu,
manze
kamelala kichwa kimeangalia
unashanga kwani waliflipaje katani kaangalia juu.
But shida kubwa ni kwamba lazima iwe ni dual. I mean, tumeishi nchi za nje. Unanielewa? Dual carriage will be the answer.
Dual carriage hapa ndo the answer.
Dual carriage is the answer. Haita ondoa kabisa ngori ya nini? Ya accident. Si ndio?
But itasaidia.
Lakini itapunguza.
Itakuwa significant. Kuna chale alipiga hapa simu akasema, manze vitu madere pia uconsume kwa mabarabara. in terms of drugs and alcohol. Chale na chana maze ako wajakoya. You know what I mean? Ako nakakota hapa hivyo chini. You know, and the guy is driving from sijui Mombasa to Burundi. Surely.
Imagine.
Yeah, so there's that one, and then also apparently there's many unhealthy drivers. Unapata mtu anachukua madawa, is sick, hajakula fiti, anaangalia barabara zimekuwa ine, you know, but he has to make some money because, you know, the country, the economic situation, nini. Yeah, so, well, you know, there's too many factors, too many variables. Now, lakini siasa amepropose, wamesema kuna some measures hapo hivyo wanaenda kuimplement, hopefully, to bring about some required changes, maze. Kama historia, wanaenda kuretestiwa tena. Waangalie kama wanaweza endesha gari kufiti, HSA wanarudishwa.
Wacha kwambie, kung'oa mti, tuwa na roots. Unanielewa?
Tuwa na roots.
Wacha kuprune. Stop pruning.
Yes.
What they are doing ni kuprune. But the moment they go back to the basics, kabisa basics pale tu chini tu pale chini, waseme ya kwamba barabara zetu zitakuwa njia mbili, kupanda na kushuka. Alafu katika njia mbili, kila barabara iwe na lanes kama 3.
Exactly. Alafu
kuwe na what you call ile lane ya slow vehicles. Unanielewa? Retesting, kuwafanyia retest ni bure tu. Mimi naweza kuambia hivyo. Because hatujashughulikia the very basic.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah, umeweza kujia microphone.
Hapo kwa barabara tuko na kama ulivyosema, watu wanachapa tofauti, mwingine na mogoka, mwingine nini. Na ni kwa sababu ya stress. Ameambiwa bana hii mzigo by 5 hiyo Mombasa.
Pressure ni mingi.
So anasema maze, acha niende.
Lakini employer pia anafaa kurelax kidogo.
Employer pia na shida.
He has a responsibility. He has to play his part. He has to be held accountable.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Now, before we continue with this conversation, now by the way, you guys also, I mean, you're running an institution.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm sure the safety of your students is paramount.
Correct.
We will touch on that by the way in a bit. Lakini nimeona there's another brother of ours. Maybe anaweza introduce so we can kick off this conversation. Karibu sana bro.
Kwa majina naitwa Patrick Makao.
Patrick
Makao. Mimi ni mwanariadha ambaye ameweza kustaafu. Nilikuwa nakimbia mbio za marathon. And I'm a former world record holder in marathon.
Good stuff.
Wakati mmoja nilikuwa nimeshikilia rekodi ya dunia.
Yes.
Nice. Siku hizi tunajifunia akina Eliud Kipchoge, late Kelvin Kiptum. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Patrick Makao, manze. What? We're in the presence of stars.
Greatness.
The greats.
Yes.
But there's a bigger conversation and a very, very powerful initiative by Lukenya University. It was the 10 Million Trees Marathon.
Correct.
Inikitufiti sana. And Lady Muthe, maybe you can expound, you can tell us exactly what this is about, what inspired you guys to come up with this initiative.
Just to make it clear, Patrick is our marathon ambassador.
Fantastic.
Yes, and he's going to be a marathon ambassador for the duration of the whatever. He will be accepting a letter of offer for an honorary doctorate for those world records. Yeah, we want to start that tradition of celebrating our athletes. All of them, you know, like wherever they are. If you hold a world record or if you're significant, you know, you're celebrated, we need to also carry you above our shoulders.
Really achievement.
Yes, we need to celebrate it. So anyways, Lukenya University 10 Million Trees Marathon, tuko hapo, tunakimbia. We are kimbiaing to... tunakimbia.
You're a Kenyan.
I'm a Kenyan.
What is that? We are kimbiaing, where?
Tunaunda grammar hapa, tunaunda grammar. New language.
Haina
pressure. So we are running to amplify the message of climate change for all of us, and you know, involving communities, young people, women groups, especially in rural communities. We hope this message is also heard in our urban communities. Kenya is a country of runners, but Kenya is not a running country.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Last week, Rome, 1 to 9 Kenyans. Position 1 to 9. But huku ndani, huku Kenya, hatukimbii vile. So we want to create opportunities for Kenyans to come and run for fun. We want to create opportunities for young professional runners to be seen. We are the only now marathon that is annual in that part of the country. Yani ukichora line after Standard Chartered, there is no other 42 kilometer annual.
The inaugural one ilikuwa last year.
Yes.
Good stuff. How was it, by the way?
We had a lot of fun. Number 2, we planted a lot of trees in the year that followed. We planted nearly 400,000 trees as of March 15th. So we are getting, we achieved our goal. Last year, our goal was to plant 250,000 trees in every year for 5 years. That is 5 million trees. So that was our goal. We exceeded it.
Yeah.
So when we were challenged, you people can plant 1 million, we took on the challenge. And we've made partnerships with government and other groups all over the country. We were here 2 weeks ago, sort of introducing another group of partners we have. We've got banks, we've got whatnot. Just groups of
Standard.
people. Standard has been the common denominator. Common denominator throughout. So, just bringing people. One of the things that I think, I'm a teacher by profession. So one of the things I know for a fact is that sometimes our youth are not engaged in hobbies. So then when they are free time, sasa wanaingia mashida. Hapo ndio mungukani nini. Yet you look at nowadays that they are emerging, and he can tell you a little bit about it. They are running groups, and these are people who run for fitness.
Yeah. Or
run for a cause. Like now we are creating a cause. Let's plant trees. Bring people together so that we can have a community of people speaking the same language.
That's right.
The younger the people are, the better for us. Because us guys are university. So the younger the people are, better. But we also need to speak to everybody. So in fact, one of the runners who is coming is a very celebrated recreational runner. Recreational, just for fun.
Oh, nice.
Anaitwa Madam Duku. Madam Duku is 70 years.
A good one.
And she runs.
What? Anakuanga kwa hizi marathons.
Yeah, this is running now. Forget marathon. Marathon ni hour.
Okay, ile to running for fun, hobby.
And you can run 42 kilometers, but nobody is timing you. The point is to finish.
How old is she again?
70.
Na anamaliza?
42 and above.
Actually, sayada a bit.
Yeah.
Kiongezea kidogo.
Yeah.
Nduko naweza sema ni mwanariadha ambaye ameweza kubobea sana kwa hizi mbio za recreational running. Tukijua ya kwamba actually she's almost to finish the 6 majors. Ameweza kukimbia Berlin Marathon, amekimbia Tokyo Marathon, New York, Chicago and the others. Na lengo yake ni kumaliza hizo mzururu, akimbia hizo zikuwe hizo 6 majors. Alafu akishakimbia kuna ile category atawekwa. Kwa hivyo atakuwa among the best in the world who have at their age wameweza kukimbia hizo.
So umesema hizo za Berlin, London, anakimbia at that stage, that age.
But you remember the point is to finish, not to win. It is not about time.
It's not about time. Ni kumaliza.
This is about getting.
Me, I'm a former athlete. Nimekuwa nikicheza rugby for very many years. I played for KCB, Homeboys, Impala, Nondis. Kitu realize about running, you're very right. Hata kama you're not the first, hata kama haukimbia raka bado kuna impact.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as kuna your movement. But also when you look at this whole initiative of planting 10 million trees, mina naona fiti sana. However, let's talk about extreme weather conditions. Hii mambo ya climate change. Kwanza where Lukenya University is, huko nasikia jua huko ni noma kabisa.
Iko chini kiasi. Iko juu kama huko.
Huko jua si ni noma sana.
Huko tunafurahi mayai bwana.
Let me tell you, here Nairobi, sometimes I look at people, nilikuwa na chiki joke fulani walikuwa nasema you should not visit Nairobians kwa manyumba hapo maafte kwa sababu watu wako dead. People are in their shorts. Guys can't keep up. And I'm curious, George, when you look at all these conversations to do with climate change, mambo ya extreme weather conditions, do you think your students who go Lukenya University, the community around, are they taking this conversation seriously? Mambo ya climate change, ama wanaona ni hawks, hii kitu hata iko, hii mambo ya wazungu.
Wale maboy na ladies kule chini, wanachukua serious mazi.
For sure.
Hakuna jokes. Pale wanajua kwamba kupanda mti ni kuleta hewa nzuri. Na by the way, ukifika pale university, hauta believe ati uko Makueni.
What are you talking about?
I kid you.
It's
green and cool.
Unatembea hivi si ati unatoka tu hivi kuna kashade. And you can literally walk a long distance without being chomad by that sun.
Unaweza tembea na usije ukapata jua sana. Unatembea hivi unapata kivuli. Unatembea hivi kashade hapa.
So it's possible.
It is. And wacha kwambie, March last year tulipanda miti kweli, and right now they are more than
I think we planted
6 feet grown.
Ziko taller than the average person za last year,
and area ilikuwa bare kabisa, saa hizi ni green. So wale wanafunzi wanaona mazee kitu ni doable, unaona, na wana embrace kabisa. Alafu unajua, wacha ni
unaweza songea Mike George,
wacha ni sema nizungumze juu ya philosophy ya reggae. You know, reggae is about
unapenda reggae?
I love reggae.
Good one. You know that people want to ban reggae concerts in Nairobi.
Why?
Kwa nini?
Nilisikia story jana nilijam sana bana. I'll tell you, it's the story for now.
Reggae is about education.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about empowerment. Liberation.
Reggae talks about ways of life. Reggae talks about conservation. Freedom.
You know?
How, you know, and that's why Rastas are good people. Okay, watu sema kwamba mrasta lazima awe na chapa.
Akiru.
Si wa rasta wote. Real rasta kwa roho hapa. Utapata hata na Madredi.
Na unajua wa rasta kwanza, we are on the forefront of your conversation, the Pan-African agenda. That's why nashanga hii vita ni gani.
Actually, Daktari, it is only yesterday I had a conversation with my wife. Actually, we were driving in a car, and we were listening to a certain music, it's a reggae, and it was about love. Then there was this thing I told my wife. I have 3 guys who are rastas, and when you interact with them, they are the coolest. They are the sober people ever. Not like
a true rasta.
How the world they used to take it from a different perspective. But according to how myself I know them, they are the people to bring the peace. They are people who they always talk about conservation. The freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unajua rasta, a true rasta hata hizi chinja kuku.
Exactly.
Unaonielewa?
Anaona anaribu environment.
Now they really go out there to plant trees because they believe kwamba miti ni gift from God.
But George, what about the non-believing Kenyans out there, especially young Kenyans, when wanasema, and they're so convinced that climate change doesn't exist. You know, the people who call this station wanasema, Kev, this is just a way of governments and corporates to get money from wazungus out there, to swindle people for money. Wow. Kenyans for money. What do you tell the non-believing youth when you wanasema hakuna kitu kama climate change?
Wrong belief.
Can I answer? Can I add for you? Yes.
Kidogo tu. Ajua climate change is real. Na anasema hii tu ni njia ya kutafuta do, anasema uongo. Kama watu waliona ile famine, ile njaa ilikuwa Ethiopia, mali ambapo mtoto mamake ashakufa, yeye bado ananyonya. Mwingine naye anangoja kufa, kuna vulture inangojea afe iende imdish. Kama mtu aliona mambo kama hayo, lazima ajue kwamba climate change ni real, na huu ndio wakati wa kushughulika.
That's right.
Na kurekebisha. So lazima to change, tunasema ni tabia nchi. We must change our culture of viewing things. And vijana, I'm telling them now, maboy yuko nje, amkeni, pandeni miti.
Awaken.
Amkeni, pandeni mti.
But then what were you going to add on?
I was just going to add that last year we lost nearly, you look at Kajiado County. Sahi nyama is 600-700 a kilo. Why? Hakuna ng'ombe.
Walikufa wote.
Walikufa. And Kajiado will take it takes calf kukua, it takes at least 24 months before we talk about stabilization of kitu wa Kenya upenda. Nyama. Yeah. If small things like that cannot make a difference, then it means that our young people are not reading the news.
Okay.
Even before we go far. Tusiende ati tuende abroad, sijui wapi kuna floods wapi. Hapa Kenya. Wasamburu wa Masai saa hii, the issues of ng'ombe. Yani tunaongea, If you talk to KWS, I know that is talking to government. And for those of us who have an interest in wildlife, as a Kenyan, you have to be interested. Why? Tourism employs too many people for us not to be interested. Hartebeest inaitwa kongoni kwa Kiswahili. Hii atikapiti hakuna hata moja. Zimebaki kama 5 hivi. Zimekufa.
What?
Yeah. Wildebeest zile tunaonanga kwa TV huko National Geographic za Masai Mara.
Yes.
Zile za hii area ya Atikapiti Plains. Atikapiti Plains is the entire ecosystem from literally Nairobi Game Park all the way up to Amboseli, parts of Ukambani, parts of Makueni, parts in and Kajiado County. Zimepotea. If you traveled on the SGR, you'd see them dead. Zinatafuta tu maji. Zimekufa. We decimate, the climate is killing our livelihoods.
Yeah.
Me, I know tourism. Why? I come from Ukambani. The majority of a very big, significant number of my tribesmates work in hotels and, game lodges and places like this. If this changes, then people lose jobs. This thing is here.
Of course.
Yeah? Sio kitu ya mbali, sio kitu ya kuongea huko sahi. Pick anybody from northeastern Kenya. They'll tell you how, right now, Kenyans are eating meat from Somalia. Ng'ombe zinatoka Somalia, zinakuja Kenya.
Let me ask you, as a Pan-African institution.
Ongea na anybody, inaitwa nini? Ile slaughterhouse iko hapa kwa Kirima inaitwa nini? Hiyo.
I'm not so sure. Yego inaitwa?
Yeah.
Ni hapa kwa Kirima
hiyo. The big slaughterhouse.
Okay.
Waulize ng'ombe zinatoka wapi? Waulize the state of those animals.
Clearly things are bad,
yes.
Lady Muteo, but ukiangalia nilikuwa nimesema you guys obviously Pan-African institution.
Yes.
Na hii station by it's a Pan-African station na tunapendanga kubonga hizi stories za nini the Pan-African agenda nini in terms of governance, policy. How important is it for African youth? Because we're the majority.
Yes,
they say we're the 77%.
Correct.
How important is it for African youth, Kenyan youth, to engage in these types of conversations?
It is critical. And I feel sometimes that our Kenyan youth are not exposing themselves to the full scale of information out there. That inapimwa, and it is very easy to criticize government. Yes, we must criticize government. My youth, sisi ndio tunashikilia. Mimi sio youth, sorry. Niligro. Ndio nilisomea KU, kwa hivyo najisikia kama youth everlasting. Naangalia siku hizi, naangalia ati tulisoma lini sijui. Na hiyo ni miaka ngapi? Sasa kumbe 1997 ni sijui million years ago. The discussions that some of our youth are having is not well read. Yeah. So sometimes we don't position our rightful arguments within the knowledge base that is there. Sahi, we need, as a university and as a person, I know this. Kenyans have to engage massively in food production. Food production is from increasing protein in our diets, meaning chicken farming, beef farming, you name it. Wherever you are, if you are in food production, kuna pesa. Because at the moment, we are deficient as a country and we are importing too much.
That's right.
Kenya is a net importer of beef.
Absolutely.
Tunatoa Somalia. Zinakuja na mguu.
Manze.
Yeah. Because we are not able. Yeah. Well, we have been a net importer of beef forever.
Tunasema ni kwamba mayut.
Yeah.
Hii life, future good life, inategemea wao. Na utapata like ukienda kama Germany. Germany green. Ni watu wamefanya ile kazi. Na saizi unapata kwamba wewe angalia embassies. Ukienda kutafuta visa ya kwenda kama milk kwa sports, unapata vijana wamepanga line wanataka sijui kwenda wapi. Tukijenga kwetu hapa, hatakuwa na haja ya kwenda huko. Tutakuwa tunaenda huko kwenda kupiga tu raundi na kuruka.
Cut tunarudi home.
Cut tunarudi home.
Home na kafiti. Home is bearable.
Home na kafiti. So sisi wenyewe naambia maboys na warembo pale nje. Take up. Change. Anza kupanda miti tulete mvua na tulete tupate chakula.
Napenda hiyo narrative. Let's take ownership of our country and our destiny. Kwanza tuanze na environment. But before we take a short break, Patrick Makao, as a brand ambassador, umekuwa kwa hii game ya sports, you've achieved a lot yani. Kuna watu wanakuangalia as a mentor, as an ideal, atakuwa kama Patrick, especially other athletes.
Correct.
Unadhani maybe unaweza encourage many athletes to engage in these types of conversations, initiatives during their free times, off season, and how important is it for athletes to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, kitu ya kwanza kabla sinjaangalia mambo ya athletes, tutaongea mambo ya my youth in general.
Okay.
Sometimes tunaweza fika mahali tunakuwa tunawalaumu bure, lakini wanakosa ile information. Kitu ya kwanza nikiongelea kidogo, mwaka mmoja uliopita kuna mahali nilikuwa na project kadogo nilisema nitafanya mimi mwenyewe.
Oh, that's nice.
Nilianza kupanda mandizi 20. Na currently ama sasa hivi mandizi 3 already imeanza kuzaa. Juu nilikuwa najua after miezi 7 miezi 8 hizo mandizi zimeanza kuzaa. Hizo mandizi inamaanishaje ikianza kuzaa? Wakati tulikuwa tunaenda sokoni kununulia mtoto mandizi, hiyo budget tumecut off.
Exactly.
Tutakuwa tunafuna mandizi kutoka kwa shamba yetu tunatumia sisi wenyewe. Hiyo ni mambo ya kuongezea chakula kuongeza chakula mezani. Ile ingine kuongezea, kuna miti nyingi sana ambayo iko na manufaa mengi sana. Apart from change the climate.
Of course.
Kuna miti nyingi sana ambazo zinatusaidia kwa matunda na zinatusaidia kuleta kupasua mbao. Na saa zingine hizi miti tunazitumia kwa dawa. Kwa hivyo my youth wangejua umuhimu wa miti. Haijalishi ni mti wa aina gani. Miti yoyote ikiwa indigenous ama exotic, ingekuwa umuhimu kila wakati mtu ako na birthday ama wakati uko na occasion, unamaka hiyo occasion na kupanda mti.
Exactly.
Hiyo ndio njia moja ambayo inaweza saidia kufanya kupindua hali ya mazingira. Ile ingine kuongelea kidogo ni kwamba pia waweze kuwa wanajitokezea kufanya kitu or an activity like sporting, which also will keep their minds busy. Na kupitia hapo tutaweza kupunguza madhara mengi ambao huwa inakuja inakumba wanarika wetu, tukijua kwamba kujihusisha na mambo ya miandarati, kujihusisha na mambo ya tabia mbaya na vitu kama hizo. Wanaweza involve, they can involve themselves with something which is boosting it's boosting our economy, or else it is boosting their health. Like for example, when you run, you boost your health,
of course,
and through that you reduce much diseases which come as with associate with when you are idle. And also through that I can also testify that through running you can earn money. So unaweza jipatia mapato mengi kupitia kwa kukimbia. Tukijua kwamba tumeweza kuona wanariadha wengi sana ambao wameweza kuwa matajiri sana kwa dunia yote, wameweza kuzunguka, hakuna continent ambayo wanja kanyanga juu ya kukimbia. Mahali popote, hata wakienda kwa president mahali popote panahusishwa na president, mwana sport yote anakuanga na njia ya urahisi sana kufikia president. Na kupitia hapo unaanza kuinua uchumi wa nchi yako, sababu zile pesa zote unapata huko millions unarudi kwa community. Actually watu hawajuangi tukikimbia huko tunapata pesa nyingi sana.
Oh, trust me, tunajua. Trust me, we know. We know.
That's why I encourage day and night. If you come to realize that you can be a good athlete or you can be a good footballer, please search for a mentor who will take you through the basics of your career and all this. At the end of the day, you can be a good sportsman and a woman.
And I like that, kwa sababu we know very well that makazi ni kiasi. And we know what sports can do. The sports and arts, but specifically ukiangalia vile hii conversation ya environment, how to take care of our environment do you think athletes, na si marathoners peke yake, to general footballers, watu wa tennis, cricket, rugby, do you think they're doing enough to conserve our environment, to grow our environment, to at least bearable for future generations? Ama they can do better?
Nafikiria actually the sportsmen and the women, they can be a very good ambassadors, knowing that sisi ni watu tuko na knowledge kubwa sana
na influence
kubwa sana. For example, kuna project huwa na learn on my side, mahali nilizaliwa, mahali nilikuwa. Na kila wakati tukiwa na hiyo project ya huwa nafanya mentorship na encouragement. Wakati tunafanya hivyo pia huwa nawahimiza tupande miti, na huwa nawaonyesha mfano hiyo wakati tunapanda mti, na nawaambia pia umekuja hii shule na baada ya miaka 8 utatoka.
Exactly.
Ukuwe na mti ambao unaweza jifunia uliweza kupanda mti na ukakuwa na huo mti kabla ufike miaka 8 utoke kwa hiyo shule.
That's nice.
Ama uko secondary kabla umalize miaka 4 utoke secondary. Una ile mtu wewe mwenyewe unaweza kuwa unajifunia.
I like that.
Ya pili. Kuna Berlin Marathon. Berlin Marathon ukiangalia almost all the world records za marathon zimeweza kubreakiwa Berlin Marathon. The reason is why mazingira ya Berlin Marathon ni mazuri sana. Hewa ya huko ni safi sana.
Really?
Ni safi sana, na ukienda kwa huo mji utapata ni mji safi.
So ni rahisi sana ku break records. Unakimbia tu na urahisi.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kwa hivyo ukiangalia history ya marathon vile zinaweza kubreakiwa. Ukiangalia mambo kutoka Gabriel Selassie, Paul Taragat, Mimi Kipsang, Kiptum and all this. Utakuja kupata zote hizo rekodi zote zimekuwa associated na Berlin.
Let me ask you something before we take a short break. Unajua we keep on talking about abroad. Vile abroad ni place safi, hewa safi.
Lukenya iko hewa safi pia.
Najua Lukenya iko sawa. But you know, just a point of concern. I'm just curious. How do? Is it about civility yao? They just know how to take care of the environment. They start this thing from a very young age. Maybe the education system inafundisha watu kuchunga environment fiti. You know, I'll give an example. High school. I like that. High school. You know, I studied in Uganda. Our principal, RIP Mr. Muchibe, alikuwa anasema, yani there's something kama inaweza irritate. Ni mambo ya kutrespass. Umeona bana, here the garden iko fiti. Garden iko safi. But you find a Kenyan student, not even a Ugandan. Anakimbia hivi anakata. So do you think it's like a behavioral thing that we can start early? Kufundisha watoto, for example, Patrick, ku take care of environment from a very young age. Is that the case? Is that where our emphasis inafaa kukua?
Yeah, pia hiyo ni it's also another angle which we can approach. Mtoto tunasemanga mtoto chenye unamfunza akiwa mdogo hata kuja kujiwachilia. Na mtoto akizaliwa ingekuwa vizuri sana. Mark 30 day with planting of tree, and which will be repeated.
I like that, bro.
Every year.
On your birthday, you're planting trees.
Exactly.
Let's take a short break. Lady Mutheo, I'll answer your questions to Kirudi. So, guys, we're having a fire conversation, and it is all about 10 million trees. Bruh, Lukenya University 10 million trees marathon. Marathon is deadly. Now, when we come back to Tengesasa kwa nitty-gritties, how you can actually take part, what success looks like, go down wapi. Yes, it's all about the Lukenya Marathon. And we're so happy because we're hanging out with the one and only Mutheo Kasanga. She's the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Infrastructure, Lukenya University, and of course the one and only George Wasonga, Chairman, LOC, that is, Local Organizing Committee, Lukenya University, and a legend, marathon up, if you guys swear to maze, Patrick Macau, not like maze, big up on yourself. It's 9:45. Good.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
Featuring television inaitwa Reggae Nice, and I'm so happy because ile deje Eric aliperforming ngoma kwa hii studio. Man, powerful mazucha yani when it comes to live performances. I go on, and I think we're all in agreement in this studio. Eric is an amazing performer. All right, it's about 10 minutes to Sunday, guys. We're hanging out with the amazing crew. Our friends up heavy. There's Lady Mutheo Kasanga. She's the DVC, that is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Infrastructure at Lukenya University, and the one and only Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee, Lukenya University, the brother George Wasonga. Yepe ni ras. Anapendanga mazema roots. Na leo by the topic ni Lukenya University 10 million trees marathon. Also speaking of marathon, we got a legend, the one and only Patrick Macau Buda. Niko sure umesikia hiyo jina. Yeah, maza amebreak my records kibao, and right now he's an ambassador of this amazing initiative running to plant 10 million trees. Maze tuna like. You wanted to touch on our education system na kama really inasaidia when it comes to our climate change conversation, environment, planting trees. Is that the case?
It is the case. I am a CBC ambassador. My name is Mutheo Kasanga. I am a teacher. CBC, one of the things the CBC is doing is, number one, elevating...
Very briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. Bringing up kids to understand their role as a citizen of this country. Protection of the environment, you know, and just the whole idea of critical thinking, problem solving. And this is perhaps where I was going with our earlier conversation, where I'm thinking our youth are very good at pointing out a problem, not good at coming up with solutions for the same problem.
There you go.
CBC is actually doing all these things. When we hate something, let's not hate it all. Let's look at what it is trying to do and elevate it. Unakumbuka those days when CBC started, everybody, huku media mlikuwa mnasambaza vile watoto tunafagia street. Who else is to keep those streets clean? Nani atafunza watu usitupe rubbish? It begins with our youngest people. We bring them up so they are different from the existing. Look at your 10 million trees marathon. We are working with schools. Importantly, we want the youth to be involved. We are running this weekend. We have a ceremonial tree planting day. Come. We are opening up Lukenya University to you.
To somebody who's listening to us right now, mengia kwa show sahi. Amesikia, what? That's amazing. Uko ni karibu na home. Lukenya University 10 million trees planting marathon. Inaanza sangapi? Is it only for students? Ama ni ya nani? How can we engage?
Lukenya University is in Makueni County. Twende SGR. Book your ticket, come. Register online. We have the links for registering online. Come. Because we have everything for you. We have, yes, the professional runners, these young people who we want to help them get discovered. We publish their results. There's prizes for the professionals. There's a medal for you if you are a Kenyan who loves to run or who wants to love to run. And ndio tunaita recreational runners. Kazi yetu wewe ni kusema nikikimbia 21 nitamaliza, nikikimbia 10 nitamaliza. The 10 kilometer is also professional in a way, because that is where our young under 18 runners are allowed by our athletics association to run. Come.
Okay.
We have all these spaces. We have a beautiful village for accommodation, because we have on Saturday. So come, it's a whole vibe. You're in a campus, you'll meet very many other young people.
Nice.
We are opening up a university for you to come and see. Which universities in Kenya open for you? Munaendaga university graduation. Yetu tunawaita. Mukuje tulale. Tujibambe. We are the riverfront. Tuko na Earth River. We've got a beach event on Saturday evening. Really? We've got a beach.
What do you mean a beach event? Like a party?
Yes.
Social.
Bus.
You know, and
nice.
dinner by the riverside. You know, yes. This is the Earth River. Tuko huko chini Makueni, so the river is sweet and slow. Opposite Savo East, we'll be able to see if we are lucky elephants, nini. You know, like it's a whole Tembea Kenya experience.
You know, and I love that. But are there some costs I'm supposed to incur? Nikifika huko.
Kidogo tu.
Nafaa kulipia nini? You know, so don't in budget.
Kuna kule.
For the run is 1,500.
Yes.
For registration, you get a t-shirt, you get your number, and you get your medal.
1,500 did include these zote.
This is for the run.
Just for the running.
Yeah, and this is where you are helping us to fundraise for trees.
Good stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So of that money, a good number of it will go towards trees. Guaranteed. Kuja tupande miti on Saturday. The tree will be labeled with your name.
Nice.
We have already the first forest that has permanent labels.
Yeah.
Kuja useme nimeingia Lukenya University. Plenty of it there.
Nice.
Then after that, after we finish the run on Sunday, we roll out a series of tree planting events. We'll be calling, our partners.
Across the country, I'm just within the area.
We really want to focus on our drylands.
Fantastic.
Drylands.
Okay,
we want to impact our communities. We also are having partnerships, for instance, with KFS, where we are saying they'll show us where they want Ngong Forest reforested. Then we'll bring in watu wale hawezi travel kule, and we'll work with KFS. We figure out what is the best thing. Yeah. So these partnerships are important. These partnerships are work, and they are working towards our country goal of 15 billion trees.
Do you think that's actually achievable?
You know what?
Yes.
Aim for the sun. You can land on the moon, bwana. Aim for the sun. Then let's mobilize each other. Me, I grew up in the Moi years. And there was the whole thing of cut a tree, plant tree.
Yeah.
And then there was the whole Momonyoko Odongo movement. And I remember how in primary school we used to go and help build gambions.
Yeah.
We need to get back to that place where we are so proud of ourselves as a country that we can all rally behind a cause that we know is good for us.
Yeah.
For a moment there, forget the government and forget what you have problems with. with it from. Remember, this one is something for you.
It's personal. And I like that.
And us guys are saying, come, let's run for health. Let's come and say and watch people run, because sisi wale wa for health tunakimbia tu pole pole. So we will watch those guys who run for wealth, run for it. We have a whole, range of prizes we are giving the professional
Give us an example of those prizes.
Wasonga.
We are giving for 2 kilometers. Number 1, mazee.
Yoni 42.
Huyu atatoka na nusu mita.
Wow.
500,000. Pia
both male and female.
Yeah, both male and female.
Yes.
Alafu 21 kilometers wa kwanza tuko na 100. Both male and female. Alafu 5 kilometers wale kuna cycling pia ambayo itafanyika Saturday.
Nice.
Na pale tutapana 10k, manake ni mbio ya locals wale watu wa Black Mamba. Ile jamaa kuja na
unataka wasi washindane na mablaki. Hiyo ni noma.
Jamaa kama amevaa slippers.
Hiyo inataka mazguembe.
Sindio? Wajua kule chini mode of transport ni nini?
Sinitu hiyo nini Black Mamba.
So tunasema wacha waje wajue kwamba pia hiyo ni nini za mletea kitu.
Sasa because I can see we're running out of time. Itabidi nimekati your part short, but all in all, what does success look like?
Oh, it's wonderful.
When all is said and done after the end of this event, Muthe, what does success look like? What do you say, I'm happy, it was a very, very fulfilling day?
Success looks like people have come. They have seen a university in the middle of a dry land. They have seen people who are completely committed to changing our environment, and we hope that they take away with them just that thing, nitapanda miti.
I like that. Patrick, what is your word to the youth? When nakusikiza, I'm giving you 30 seconds kwa sababu hii imeenda sasa.
Yeah, na
imefika saa 4.
Naweza ambia mayudhi wetu
kwa microphone,
mayudhi wetu chenye naweza waambia ni kwamba kwa mfano wale wanariadha waliweza kukimbia mwaka uliopita. Results zao ziliweza kuwekwa kwa website ambazo pia hiyo website inakucreatea kitu tunaitanga profile. Profile nayo itakusaidia ukitaka kwenda nje. Utatumia hizo results kunjitafutia race nyingine nje ama kuinvitiwa nje. Kwa hivyo msione kama tutakimbia na results zetu tuweke pale, tuache huko. Results zetu zitawekwa kwa website.
Sawa.
Kwa hivyo dakika yoyote itaweza kutusaidia tukienda embassy, you can produce the same results na you'll be granted the visa.
All right. Asante sana, I have to cut you guys short. Asante ni sana. That is Lady Mutheo Kasanga. She's the DVC Infrastructure at Lukenya University. Chairman Locke, Lukenya University, George Wasonga, and of course Patrick Macau, the legendary marathoner.
CBC ambassador.
Yeah, and CBC ambassador. So thanks guys. Sunday Kamili, it's been real. Have a great